anxiety that comes with that, you know, just realizing that that's what mom and dad were dealing with no money, you know, needing to work every day. And I can tell you, we never talked about this, but I did feel a little like lost because I felt like I didn't have mom's attention, you know, in a way, you know, I didn't want to say that out loud, but I know when I think back on it, I felt, wow, she was exhausted and I felt her exhaustion.
It's very interesting how Big Mike and Craig mentioned all these people that were in their lives and all the family members that was a part of their lives, but they have yet to have those individuals on their show to give us a more in-depth perspective of what Miss Marian Robinson was like, or even Frazier Robertson, or even Big Mike growing up. We need to see these type of people. We don't care about seeing Seth. We want to hear from the individuals that actually grew up around you, Big Mike. We want to hear the individuals that actually had some form of communication with you as a child. Maybe bring in the individual that you said played piano, or even bring in some of these classmates or friends that you said you have. But until you are able to literally show us people who you grew up with, the people don't believe that you are who you say you are, because you have not given us evidence to prove that you are who you say you are. So until that time, we're going to always consider you to be Michael Levon Robinson, Marian Robinson's younger son, Craig's little brother. It's also interesting the hairstyle that they choose to use for this dude, which I find it to be very, very disturbing, because we know that they're only trying to use this hairstyle to make us believe even more that this individual is a woman when we know that he's not. Does anyone else notice how Big Mike's nose is always running? Makes me believe that this individual is having
in the form of like she wasn't there for me in the same way. You know, she would cook dinner, but then she'd have to go down and do something for Robbie, or at night she couldn't sleep because Terry would get out. It just, you know, I think now that I look back as a kid, I felt that loss.
See, I never knew that. And you're right. We have never talked about that. And, you know, I was your typical boy, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I felt
some type of side effects from all the hormone enhancers that this individual seems to be using. It was also quite interesting as well to hear Big Mike mention how he felt lost without Marian Robinson being there for him at a younger age, which makes me believe that this individual started to go through his transition at a younger age, especially after Craig mentioned he was a typical boy and that he didn't really need his mom, which then made me believe that Big Mike was having a hard time transitioning as a kid. It's very interesting how this is the second time we heard Big Mike use the word lost. He said that he actually felt lost after he had lost his first child. But we're not going to do too much. We really want to hear from the individuals that actually grew up around these people so we can know the real backstory of Big Mike and Craig. We need to know,
like, mom was doing what she had to do, so whatever I wasn't getting, I sort of just thugged through it. And
well, so many families, and we're going to talk about this more, are in that same kind of crunch with aging parents, young kids, a sort of healthcare community that isn't really, you know, prepared to support families in this process. And, you know, we are going to spend some time talking about that more today.
Yeah, and we have the perfect
what's the truth and what are they literally making up, because he mentioned in the last interview about how he spoke to his brother about everything, to come to find out that he really didn't tell his brother everything. So I need y'all to drop y'all comments in the comments to let me know what y'all think. Y'all function with this video. Make sure y'all beat up that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button a couple times, and make sure y'all comment down below y'all thoughts and opinions, because these are just my thoughts and opinions. And with that being said, if you found this video to be very interesting, please share this video to someone else that might find it to be very interesting. I appreciate you guys on a monthly, daily, weekly basis, and I'm always here for y'all. And if you function with me, then you already know that clear eyes always recognize real lies. And like always, I'm always gonna have more videos. So until next time, that way, that part. I know, as I always like to express in all my other videos, I am not here to turn non-believers into believers. I'm only here to bring y'all food for thought. And with that being said, your opinion is your opinion.
It's pretty difficult, let's face it. I felt like this was going to be a very hard life for both of them.
It was an unraveling mystery. It was kind of a distraction tactic. It's like you took them one way and...
Michael and I also want to acknowledge...
I mean, this dude is a genius.